Jim Moina here with Moina Bass Fishes, and tomorrow is day one of competition at the Toyota Series Championship of 2022 on Lake Guntersville. All right, today was our off day. We're not allowed on the lake today, but by no means is it an off day. It's a very busy day from as soon as I get up all the way until now. I'm doing this video now. So this is all part of the process. This is the last thing I'm going to do before I lay down and relax and eventually fall asleep. So anyhow, how's the off day go? What does a professional fisherman do on his off day? But let me just say, it's not an off day by any means. Okay, first I woke up at 6:30. I did not set the alarm. I was just going to sleep until whenever. But woke up at 6:30, which is kind of what I thought would happen. It's usually the way it goes. You get in the habit of waking up at a certain time. My alarm had been set at 6 o'clock for each day of practice, with a 7 o'clock or shortly thereafter official sunrise time, which is when we're allowed to go out on the lake. So I'd give myself an hour to get everything ready and get all set and eat and all that kind of stuff and get on the lake to practice. But anyway, so I was in that habit of getting up somewhere close to that time. So I woke up at 6:30, immediately, well, not immediately, but kind of get my day going. It probably took maybe a half hour just laying around, catching up on some YouTubing, not fishing related, just kind of looking at some news and that sort of thing. And I can't even remember what else I looked at. But anyways, spent a little time just coming around watching that. Then get up, eat some breakfast, take a shower, then catch up on emails, because I basically have been ignoring my emails for the last 4 days of practice. So catching up on that, and by now it's got to be like 9, maybe a little bit after. And I got to probably later than that. I wanted to go to the service yard. I didn't know who I was going to find there. I was hoping I could talk with Cheryl from Lawrence. Well, Lawrence wasn't there. I was hoping to talk to the guy from Ranger, and actually I got some rivets coming loose on my fender boards on my trailer, so I wanted to see if he could just wrap those up quick. And then the other thing that broke on my Ranger is the U-bolt. It's kind of like a U-bolt, I guess you call it the bow eye. It's the little eye in the front of your boat where you take the strap from your trailer winch and you hook it to that bow eye and then winch up your boat. Somehow that U-bolt snapped, so we wanted to get that fixed. But hey, I couldn't do it because the Ranger guy isn't here. But I could probably just go buy some kind of U-bolt bolt at the hardware store. Maybe I can get a stainless steel one, and I'll never have to worry about it breaking again. Unless if it was stainless steel, but I doubt it, because why would it snap? Anyhow, yeah, so I had to go to the service yard for those things. Plus, I bought some spark plugs and a fuel filter for my outboard. And the Mercury Tech, I actually had a conversation with him on the phone a few weeks ago, and he said, yeah, just bring the stuff and I'll put it in. So I brought the spark plugs and the fuel filter, and he checked my old plugs, made sure everything was cool with my old plugs. Checked the old fuel filter. Nothing was too suspicious there. So that was good to get that stuff looked at and taken care of. And then what else? So I got out of there. So then I went to a boat dealer in town, and to see if I could get that bow eye. Well, they didn't have it. So that was a waste of time going there. Although they did order some. I gave them my phone number, so they'll call me if I'm still around when they come in. I told them, hey, if they come in next week, next Monday, well, I'll be back in Minnesota by then. So anyhow, but they try to keep those in stock anyways. And it wasn't a Ranger dealer. It was just, I don't know. I don't know what kind of boat dealer they were, but I think they dealt a lot in used boats. This is what I think is what they do. But anyhow, so then get done with that, get back, then I drive back here to the campground, and it's time to work on the rods, work on the tackle, get the boat in shape for, get everything streamlined, make sure I know where everything is in the boat. So I worked on all that until it was time to go to registration. I had to be at registration at 5:30. So I left here at 4:45, got the registration at 5:15, and from there, so then it was registration time. So basically at registration, you just show up and they record on the computer, they record that you're here. They kind of verify some contingency programs that you may be a part of. And then you get to go through the line where they have all the swag from sponsors. So you do that. And so I got some free lures and what else? I'm sorry, I forget what else I did. What else I got? But I got some glue from this guy that makes glue. And so, anyways, so that, and then they had a meal for us. Being the championship, they kind of had a nice meal for us. It was a really good pasta dish. Lots of nice flavor, good flavor. So we had that and some salad. And they had some bread. They had some bread cake of some kind for dessert. So that was all good. Free meals always taste good. No matter what it is, a free meal tastes great. So thank you for whoever sponsored that meal. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. And then I had some nice company at dinner. Met a couple guys. Never met him before. The one guy's name was Pops, he said he's from originally from Transylvania. There is a place called Transylvania in Romania, and that's where he's from. He lives in Tennessee now. Fished as a co-angler. And he qualified for this tournament on co-angler side. So met him. So that was cool. Shared dinner with him. And then the other guy at our table was there's only 3 of us at our table, which was interesting. I think we had the fewest amount at our table. But the other guy I can't remember his name. I think his name was Matt, I think. But he lives around Centerville Lake somewhere. Fished that division with Lake Chickamauga and whatever other tournaments are in that division. But the Chickamauga stands out because the guy actually won. Oh, he fished 2 of those tournaments. Yeah, but he actually won the Chickamauga tournament. So, and that's how he qualified for this championship. If you win or winner of a tournament, you just automatically get in. So he won the Chickamauga tournament. I think I knew there was an astronomical number of boats in that tournament. And I asked him, and he said there was 255 boats, and that sounded about right. So the guy won a 255 boat tournament. His big fish of that day was a 9-pounder. And so it was fun talking to him. He told me this incredible story about toads, which apparently this property he owns is like a toad spawning ground for 3 weeks of the year. You get insane amount of toads showing up at his property because apparently he's got some, what did he say, some springs or something that they are drawn to. And it's like tens of hundreds of thousands. I mean, he didn't say millions. He said it seems like millions, but it can't be that many, so I'll just say hundreds of thousands. And he says it's so deafening, these toads, while they're croaking during the mating season, because he says they're there for about 2 to 3 weeks, and that's it. They're still around, but the whole mating part is like 2 to 3 weeks, and then they kind of disperse. But anyways, he says it's deaf. You can't even stand outside or by this spring because it's just deafening with toads. And of course, he was telling me how he had to explain to his 9-year-old son why the toads were wrestling. So I and I don't think he really got in depth. It's just basically the toads are wrestling. So anyhow, interesting person. Great to meet him, and he shared some interesting fishing information about Chickamauga and just some stuff that he knew about. And then, of course, I shared a few things that I have about up north in Minnesota. So cool, cool dinner. And then there's people from all over the world in this tournament. I saw people with Korea on the shirt, Mexico, Canada. I think there's some other European countries represented. So quite the international fair. I think Italy. So pretty cool. So anyhow, then you meet your partner at the registration. So I met my co-angler partner. He's a gentleman from Tennessee. Again, not far from the guy I was having dinner with. Guys from Murfreesboro, I think is what he said, something like that. But originally from California. And then I asked him, well, how do you end up in Tennessee from California? And he said he's been here for like a year in Tennessee, and he says he just had to get out of California. So, which he's not the first guy I've heard say that. Something's up in California that's not good. Why are people migrating out of that state like they are? I guess they're just fed up with, I don't know, whatever's going on there. So anyhow, then by the time I get done with registration, get back here, of course with your co-angler, you share some, where you're going to meet, explain to them, the depths and the types of cover I'm fishing. And so then when that's done, I get back here, and lo and behold, it's like 8:30. I still had more stuff to do in the boat. Not a whole lot. I had one rod left I wanted to set up, and then I had, and then just some reorganization of things in the boat. There's certain things I wanted to take out. I like to provide my co-angler with his own compartment. So the compartment behind his seat in the boat, I wanted to clear that out of a bunch of unnecessary tackle. And so now he's got that whole compartment to himself. Plus, I remembered for once to throw some Bridgeford beef jerky samples in that compartment for him. I don't always remember. To all the co-anglers I've paired with, and you got stiffed on beef jerky, I'm sorry. Sometimes I just forget to bring it along. Sometimes I'm out, but so I'm glad I remembered to do that. Spread the love of Bridgeford meat snacks. Got to do that. That's part of my deal. And so then I got down to that, and now here I am doing this YouTube video for y'all to maybe tune in and maybe tune out. maybe you're snoring right now. So anyhow, I'm going to be snoring pretty soon, although I'm told I'm not a snorer so much, just a heavy breather. Anyways, over.